Today we are visiting one of the most unusual landscapes in Yorkshire, Brimham Rocks, a dramatic collection of natural rock formations set high in the moorland in North Yorkshire and cared for by the National Trust. Brimham Rocks sits on the edge of Nidderdale, and the scenery here is like anywhere else in the region. Giant rocks balance on narrow bases, strange shapes rise out of the heather, and every turn along the path seems to reveal something new. These remarkable formations were created 320 million years ago, when this area was covered by rivers and sand deposits. Over millions of years, the sandstone hardened, and then the wind, rain and ice slowly sculpted the rocks into the strange shapes we see today. The result is a landscape that almost feels like a natural sculpture garden. As you begin walking around the site, one of the first things you'll notice is just how many rock formations there are. Some are small and tucked into the landscape, while others tower high above the ground. One of the most famous rock formations here is the Idol Rock Formation, a huge boulder that appears to balance on a very narrow base. When you stand beneath it, it almost looks like it could topple over at any moment, although of course it's been standing here for thousands of years. Nearby you'll find the formations with imaginative names like the Dancing Bear, the Turtle Rock and the Sphinx. Many of these names come from Victorian visitors who enjoyed imagining the shapes in the rocks, and it's easy to see why. With little imagination, the rocks really do resemble animals and characters. One of the great things about Brimham Rocks is that you are free to explore much of the site on foot. There are well-maintained paths leading around the formations, but there are also plenty of smaller trails that allow you to wander between the rocks and get closer views. For photographers and nature lovers, it's a fantastic place to explore slowly. Because the site sits high on moorland, the views are spectacular. On a clear day, you can see for miles across the rolling countryside of Nidderdale, with the patchworks of fields, woodland and distant hills stretching towards the horizon. It's the kind of place that's worth stopping for a few moments just to take in the view. Although the rocks are the main attraction, the surrounding landscape also supports a variety of wildlife. The moorland habitat is home to birds such as the meadow pipit, skylarks, and sometimes even birds of prey soaring above the cliffs. In late summer here, the heather bursts into purple colour, transforming the landscape into a vibrant carpet across the hills. Even outside the flowering season, the moorland has a rugged beauty that suits the dramatic rock formations perfectly. The site itself is managed very well by the National Trust, with a visitor centre, cafe and facilities located near the main entrance. There are also several walking routes of different lengths, meaning you can easily spend anything from a quick hour to a much longer exploration. Families often enjoy climbing on some of the rocks, although care is needed as the surface can be uneven and slippery in wet weather. One of the best ways to experience Brimham Rocks is simply to wander without rushing. Because the rocks are scattered across quite a wide area, you often find quiet corners where you can enjoy the landscape without many other visitors being around. Every path seems to reveal another unusual formation. In some places the rocks form narrow passages and natural corridors, while in others they open out into wide spaces where the formations rise dramatically out from the ground. It's easy to see why this landscape has fascinated visitors for centuries. Brimham Rocks has also inspired artists, writers and photographers who come here to capture the unusual shapes and dramatic scenery. At sunrise and sunset, the sandstone takes on warm, glowing golden tones, creating some truly beautiful views. Even on a cloudy day, the atmosphere of the place is very special. As you explore further around the site, you'll begin to appreciate just how many formations are here. Some look like giant mushrooms, others resemble animals or carved faces into the stone. It's almost like nature's been quietly creating its own outdoor gallery over millions of years. Despite the popularity, Brimham Rocks still feels wonderfully natural and wild. The surrounding moorland, open skies and unusual rock shapes combine to create a landscape that both feels peaceful and slightly mysterious. It's a fantastic place for walking, photography and simply enjoying the outdoors. Overall, Brimham Rocks is one of the most unique attractions in Yorkshire. The combination of fascinating geology, stunning views across Nidderdale and freedom to explore around the formations make it an enjoyable place to visit. Whether you're interested in geology, nature, photography or just a good countryside walk, there's something here for everyone. If you're visiting North Yorkshire, Brimham Rocks is definitely a place worth adding to your list. It's easy to see why it remains one of the most popular National Trust sites across the region. Thanks for watching. Please like and share and consider subscribing, as it will help the channel grow. Take care of yourselves and I will see you on the next one. Please enjoy the remaining footage of Brimham Rocks.